Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the GVCM side event. Thank you for taking the time to come to this event. My name is Chang Ye-kyung, and I'm your MC for today. This event is co-hosted by the Ministry of Economy and Finance of the Republic of Korea and the Presidential Commission on Carbon Neutrality and Green Growth. The main theme of this event is building GVCM for high-integrity carbon markets. So we will start with an opening remark and 2 congratulatory remarks, followed by 4 presentations. Before starting the event, I would like to mention that due to time restrictions, we won't have a Q&A session today. But if you have any questions regarding the presentations, please feel free to ask the presenters after the event is over. Thank you. So first, we will start by listening to the opening remarks from Yoon Chul-gu, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Ministry of Economy and Finance. He will be delivering his opening remarks via pre-recorded video message.
Distinguished guests, thank you all for being here today. It is truly meaningful to host this important event at COP30 in Belém, Brazil. The climate crisis stands at the critical challenge of our time. It demands urgent and united global action to protect our future. Around the world, many countries are working to reduce carbon emissions. The voluntary carbon market, or GVCM, is one of the key tools to make this possible. But concerns remain regarding the credibility and the transparency of this market. That is why it is so important to create a new carbon market that everyone can trust. In response, Korea has joined hands with the UNFCCC and GGGI. Together, we are establishing the GVCM, the Global Voluntary Carbon Market. We plan to strengthen its credibility and transparency. We will do this by developing strict methodologies and MRV standards. And as an IT powerhouse, Korea will bring advanced technologies into the process. AI and blockchain will help us monitor carbon reductions and make credit trading more reliable. We hope that the GVCM will play a pivotal role in driving global carbon reductions. Distinguished guests, Korea alone cannot make the GVCM a success. We need the support from all stakeholders, government, international organizations, and private investors. I believe today's event can be a historic moment, a milestone on the path to building a trustworthy, effective, and global carbon market. Let us work together to make it happen. Thank you very much.
First, next, we'll hear the congratulatory remarks from Vice Administrator Jong-ryul Kim for the Presidential Commission on Carbon Neutrality and Green Growth. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon. I'm Jong-ryul Kim, Vice Administrator of Presidential Commission on Carbon Neutrality and Green Growth of the Republic of Korea. First, let me thank everyone here today for your participation within a valuable time. Especially Mr. Sompil Jin, Vice Executive Director of the ASEAN Forest Cooperation Organization, and Kwang Nam Nyu, CEO of Newton, and our commission member for making this side event more meaningful. COP30 is a watershed moment. 10 years ago, we adopted unanimously Paris Agreement. Now we need to speed up our action against the climate crisis. Climate crisis is now our unavoidable reality, and market-based approaches grounded in international cooperation are urgently needed. Analysis consistently indicate that to achieve global net zero by 2050, we will require $9.2 trillion in investment every year. It is a figure that the public sector cannot cover alone. We need active private sector's participation. To unlock this capital, a carbon market with integrity and transparency must serve as the core infrastructure that reliably connects private finance. Today's discussion will serve as an occasion to clarify rules, interconnect data transparency, and strengthen international cooperation based on mutual trust. We hope market confidence based on this foundation will lead to tangible outcomes confirmed in projects and credible mitigation of business. We will consequently make countries meet their NDC target. Just Monday afternoon this week, Korea also announced 2035 NDC target, which is 53 to 61% reduction from the 2018 levels. It is a very ambitious one. We must, in order to fulfill our target, we need build common market rules together. We should establish trust in the market through data-driven digital infrastructure and consolidate international standards. They are not merely list of technical specifications, but structure of consensus that link trust to capital. Once again, thank you for your participation. I hope that your proposals and wisdom and ideas become the bedrock to build a trustworthy common market. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And next is the congratulatory remarks from Vice President Sompil Jin from Asian Forest Cooperation Organization. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor to deliver remarks on behalf of the Asian Forest Cooperation Organization, AFoCO, at this meaningful event hosted by the Ministry of Economy and Finance of the Republic of Korea. Today marks a significant step forward toward building a credible, transparent, and inclusive global carbon market, one that complements the Paris Agreement and bridges public purpose with private participation. The GVCM embodies our shared aspiration to ensure that carbon market not only promotes economic efficiency but also uphold environmental integrity and fairness. Following the MOU signed between the Ministry of Economy and Finance and the UNFCCC Secretariat in May this year, the GVCM has now entered the implementation phase. Together with international partners including AFoCO and GGGI, we look forward to advancing the implementation plan and preparing pilot project to translate this vision into action, marking the transition from vision to execution and from dialogue to measurable action. As GVCM evolves, we must ensure that no country is left behind. Developing nations need access to finance, technology, and capacity support so that their contribution, particularly in forest and nature-based mitigation, can be fully recognized and valued in the global carbon market. This inclusiveness will be the key to GVCM's credibility and long-term success. As we move forward, collaboration among government, international organizations, and the private sector will be crucial. By combining technological innovation, such as digital MRV system with credible governance, the GVCM can enhance the integrity of emission reductions and expand opportunities for developing countries to participate in global carbon market. Let us seize this opportunity to make the GVCM a catalyst for global cooperation, a platform where trust, technology, and partnership come together to deliver real and lasting climate impact. Together we can turn ambition into action. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the congratulatory remarks. Now we will start the presentations. As I mentioned earlier, we have 4 presenters today, and we'll invite the first presenter to the stage. First, please welcome Director Do-ik Kim from the Ministry of Economy and Finance to the stage. He will be giving a presentation on the introduction to the GVCM implementation plan. Please give him a big round of applause.
Nice to meet you. I'm Do-ik Kim, Director of Green Climate Policy Division at the Ministry of Economy and Finance. It is my pleasure to present GVCM implementation plan today. My presentation consists of 2 parts. For the first part of the presentation, I will talk about the collaboration on establishing the GVCM with UNFCCC and GGGI. For the second part, I will present Korea's plan for the GVCM. First, let me outline our cooperation with the UNFCCC. The key areas of cooperation include developing methodologies for issuing credible carbon credits. We will also work together to facilitate international credit trading. Both sides will provide capacity building support for developing countries as well. Moreover, we'll explore ways to leverage private sector investment for the GVCM. Next, I would like to clearly highlight the scope of collaboration with the UNFCCC. By clarifying the boundaries, we hope to minimize any unnecessary misunderstandings. Our cooperation focuses strictly on activities aligned with Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. Other mechanisms and markets fall outside the scope of UNFCCC support. We believe this clarity will help ensure transparency and credibility as of developed GVCM. GGGI is also signing the MOUs and collaborating to establishing the GVCM. GGGI will support the review of methodologies and MRV programs. They will also manage mitigation project registration and issuance of carbon market. In addition, they plan to implementation pilot projects. Lastly, they will also strengthen the capability of market participants and oversee project integrity and credibility. Now I will present Korea's plan for the GVCM. First, I will explain why GVCM. The trading volume of carbon credit market is expected to grow but has recently declined. This indicates that despite its strong potential, the market's activation remains limited due to a lack of credibility. Meanwhile, at COP29, the agreement was reached on the Article 6 rulebook, establishing the foundation for Article 6 aligned market. So the vision of the GVCM is to bridge the voluntary carbon market and Article 6. This will be pursued by strengthened market credibility and transparency. Then what is the definition of a GVCM? The GVCM Global Voluntary Carbon Market is a new type of a voluntary carbon market aligned with Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. It is a market that enhances the credibility and transparency of existing voluntary carbon markets, thereby enabling greater global transactions. The GVCM has 5 key characteristics. First is it promotes private sector-driven reduction activities. Second, it is based on credible standards. Third, it aims to issue reliable carbon credits. Fourth, it operates under a multilateral framework. Fifth, it is global market where carbon credits can be exchanged. Next is the implementation progress. In May this year, our ministry has signed an MOU with UNFCCC and GGGI, and GVCM was included in the new government's economic growth strategy in August. So now is the time to start preparing the implementation plan. But to make the implementation plan, the challenges in carbon credit market should be defined. So first, I would like to talk about the challenges for the carbon credit market. The existing market has 4 major challenges. First, project participants and developing countries are facing multiple constraints. The project participants lack information for the market, and the developing countries do not have a well-formed institutional framework. Second is the lack of credibility in credit issuance. This means it is difficult to monitor the reduction in real time. So, and there is too many issuance bodies, which decrease the issuance credibility. A third challenge is absence of trading frameworks in many countries. And fourth, there are too many bilateral agreements. This creates administrative inefficiencies. For example, please look at the picture on the right. So in order to build a market with 5 countries, we need a total of 10 bilateral agreements. So GVCM implementation plan was established to solve these challenges. It consists of 4 frameworks. First is project support. Second is issuing framework. And third is trading framework and multilateral framework. First is the project support framework. Issuing framework. The GVCM provides full cycle support from project development to implementation. We plan to work together with the UN AFoCO and GGGI. We will build a pilot project pipeline and develop various financial models. We also plan to strengthen the capacity of developing countries. We will support GVCM participation by establishing project approval standard and process as well as the reporting system. Second is issuance framework. We plan to establish an issuance body. The carbon reduction amount will be calculated based on the PACM methodologies, and the credit registration and issuance will be swept. Moreover, the GVCM registry will be linked to the UN or national registry. We will use satellite and IoT sensors to monitor the reduction in real time. Also, we will use AI technology to analyze the collected data. Third is trading frameworks. We will apply the blockchain technology to securely and immutably record the transaction history. Also, the credit will be broken down to smaller units to increase liquidity. Moreover, we will promote long-term and future investment, and we will link the market with the foreign carbon markets to facilitate credit exchanges in the GVCM. Last is a multilateral cooperation framework. We plan to form a multilateral consultative group. We will function under the operational foundation that can be used by all. Joint trading platform will increase trade volume and liquidity. It will also enable cross-border transfer of credits among participating countries, creating an efficient multilateral platform. Next is future plans. In 2026, we plan to establish issuance bodies and develop MRV standards and methodologies, and designate the verification institutions, and establish a multilateral framework. After 2027, we will implement pilot projects. We will launch the full-scale project reflecting the result of the pilot projects. Thank you. At the end of the presentation, we kindly ask for your continued interest and participation and support for the success of GVCM. Thank you for the kind attention. Thank you.
you for the presentation. Now we will move on to our second presenter. Our next presenter is Hono Choi, team leader at the Asian Forest Cooperation Organization. He will be giving his presentation on the introduction to pilot projects in the forest sector under the GVCM. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, distinguished delegates and all participants. My name is Sung-ho Choi, team leader of Project and Program Division at the Asian Forest Cooperation Organization. Today is very scorching, and then I'd like to try my best to finish my presentation 1 minute ahead. It is my pleasure to make a presentation on the pilot project in the forest sector for the global voluntary carbon market, shortly GVCM. The world remains off track to meet the Paris Agreement. The gap between ambitions and action continues wide. Forests account for nearly 30% of global mitigation potential, yet they receive less than 3% of climate finance. Under the leadership of Ministry of Economy and Finance of Korea, launched the Global Voluntary Carbon Market GVCM to promote the high integrity, transparent and inclusive climate action. Forest-based mitigation is among the most cost-effective solutions, typically estimated at USD 20 to 100 per tons of CO2. As an intergovernmental organization, AFoCO's vision is a greener Asia with resilient forest, landscape, and commute. In the context of GVCM, AFoCO explores opportunities to contribute to the forest sector component and collaborate with the Ministry of Economy and Finance of the Korea in order to operationalize nature-based and community-driven climate solutions. AFoCO's strategic plan from 24 to 2030 reflects the diversity of Asia's forest ecosystem across the northeast, southeast, South and Central Asia. Through the project, we address multiple forestry functions from land restoration and community forestry to digital innovation for monitoring and carbon measurement. This regional scope provides a solid foundation for AFoCO to act as a platform organization under GVCM framework. After Dr. Park Jong-ho taking office, he launched the AFoCO 10-year climate action plan. This plan responds to the climate crisis by supporting member countries in achieving carbon removal target, greening their economies, and enhancing community well-being. It also promotes regional cooperation and leverages blended financing to accelerate investment for implementation. Let me introduce three pilot projects on the Climate Action Plan. First, AR project with climate asset management. This project will be implemented from 2024 to 2029 with a total budget of 20 million USD. This project objective is to facilitate and implement afforestation, reforestation, and revegetation project, as known ARR, in AFoCO member countries. Second, ACON Rabobank Agroforest Carbon Project. This project will run from 2023 to 2032 with a total budget of 50 million US dollars. This project focuses on agroforestry system for smallholder farmers. Third, Mekong Red Plus project in Cambodia. This project will be carried out from 2024 to 2026 across 14 community forestry sites in Sok Province, Cambodia. This project key activities: scaling up and restoring forest areas, strengthening law enforcement, and implementing large-scale reforestation. AFoCO has several strengths and comparative advantages. It facilitates government approval and land access as a treaty-based organization. Also, collaborate with international standards such as the Golden Standard, and utilize Korea's forest satellite, drones, and GIS to ensure scientific accuracy. Also, draw inspiration from Korea's reforestation model and mobilize finance with partners like ADB, World Bank, EBRD, and Rabobank for the climate finance. This slide shows how AFoCO translates forest cooperation into measurable climate action under GVCM. This pilot integrates afforestation, reforestation, agroforestry, and forest conservation into a unified carbon framework for member countries. It provides credible articles-aligned access to the carbon market while ensuring transparency, integrity, and equitable benefits. Through standardized MRV and blended finance mechanism, forests become long-term climate and investment asset. GVCM component carbon finance with development cooperation through two key concepts: carbon layer concept and blended finance pathway. Carbon layers add carbon component to existing ODA and forestry project, transforming them into bankable, self-sustaining assets. Meanwhile, blended finance operates in three stages. First, seed, where ODA provides feasibility studies and de-risking. Second, growth, where multilateral banks offer guarantees and concessional loans. And third, scale, where private investors engage through ESG and carbon market investment. Together, this model ensures that public funds de-risk early stage while private finance scale up impact. This model, AFoCO proposed community-based carbon model. This model links afforestation and reforestation, agroforestry and forest conservation to deliver both carbon and livelihood benefit at the community level. It is built on 5 key pillars: increase nurseries and reforestation, diversified agroforest system, payment for ecosystem services, livelihood co-benefit, and digital MRV, all designed to support both climate mitigation and social inclusion. Through this model, we ensure that community are active participant and beneficiary, and that no one is left behind. Our pilot activities span 3 countries: Kyrgyzstan with 4,000 hectares of AR and agroforestry, generating about 560,000 tons of CO2 over 20 years. Laos PDR with 2,000 hectares of agroforestry, generating 120,000 tons. And Tajikistan with 4,000 hectares and 560,000 tons of CO2. Altogether, these pilots will restore 10,000 hectares of forest and remove about 1 million tons of CO2 over 20 years, while strengthening community resilience and livelihood and establishing a forest carbon model aligned with Article 6. Under the leadership of the Minister of Finance, Minister of Economy and Finance of the Republic of Korea, AFoCO would like to propose action for GVCM. AFoCO engage in seek to expand these pilot into long-term partnership under GVCM by linking forest carbon, blended finance, and strong community participation. We aim to transform this initiative into investable and scalable climate asset. This pilot contribute Korea's vision of operationalizing GVCM framework and fostering high integrity forest carbon market in developing countries. Through this partnership, we aim to co-invest in nature-based solutions that deliver measurable carbon and livelihood outcomes. Thank you very much for your attention. If you any questions, inquiries, please contact me. My email is here. Like this one. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation. We will invite our third presenter. Our third presenter is Kwangnam Ryu, Commission Member from the Presidential Commission on Carbon Neutrality and Green Growth. His presentation will be on accelerating Article 6 with digital innovation, the role of GVCM and tech-based mitigation. Please welcome him to the stage with a big, please welcome him to the stage with a big round of applause.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I prepare like many slides, but I will speak very quickly, so please pay attention. Thanks for Presidential Commission on Carbon Neutrality and Green Growth and Minister of Economy and Finance for hosting this event. It's an honor to be here to talk about accelerating Article 6 with digital innovation. Let me introduce myself. As a member of Presidential Commission on Carbon Neutrality and Green Growth, I contribute to the high-level climate policy change, especially Article 6.2 and climate tech industry. And also as a tech entrepreneur, I founded Newton, AI company to solve the global carbon market problem. So Newton is kind of technology provider that providing the digital MRV solution and the project advisor to project developers and also capacity building partner with the developing country and partner with the Korean government, Google, ADB, and also GGGI. As you know, from the UNEP graph, this graph shows like widened gap between 1.5 degree and current scenarios. So to reduce this gap, the cooperation under Article 6 is not an option. It's very obviously, absolutely the nasty. So we have to cooperate under the Article 6 and we can achieve the NDC or net zero target. But there are many problems in global carbon market. We are facing the crisis of trust. As you see the headlines that phantom credit or worthless or some kind of bad credits, it is all because of the poor MRV. MRV is measurement, reporting, and verification. Because the traditional project lifecycle is a very slow and manual and high-risk process. So phase 1, planning, it takes over a year, and because of lack of quantitative data for planning, so we cannot decide or decision making in fast. And then phase 2, registration and validation, it also takes 12 months because of complex documentation. And last, phase 3, monitoring and issuance, also the problem with the manual data. We cannot collect the data in real time. We can only collect the data after project finished. So this kind of problem is very pain point and bottleneck. So fragmented information because of hundreds of methodology or PDF. So the human have to do the manual research. And second, label intense management relies on Excel and email and the manual documentation, complex documentation. And lastly, the bad data sourcing from the project site. To succeed the Article 6 implementation, I think we have to change the paradigm from the past thing, the analog thing, to the digital things. So I want to call it digital native innovation. So what is digital MRV? It's very simple, moving from manual estimation to automated and verifiable data. So we use IoT and sensors to automatically collect the real-time data from the different source, and also using the satellite and remote sensing data to monitoring hard to reach areas like forest or agriculture sectors. Lastly, and also using AI and big data to find patterns and validate the data and detect the error. So I want to show the two type of AI process to ensure success and integrity at every step of carbon project development process. One is planning phase, AI-enabled intelligent planning to de-risk project before they start. And second one is AI-enabled field verification to ensure integrity during the project. So for planning, the AI engine can gather the different data source from carbon standard and registries and international agency and research and each country report. And they can help to the good decision making. So this software Graviton, powered by Newton, my company, we help the project developers and organization to make a good decision and provide like feasibility assessment and carbon credit simulator and global carbon market data platform. And also we provide the Graviton by enterprise level. So we provide our solution to GGGI. GGGI felt very difficult and complex when they managing the hundred of projects by email and Excel. So we built a SaaS platform to integrate the whole process and digitize the entire project lifecycle from proposal to monitoring and evaluating and the whole process. Also, we provide the AI-based success evaluation function to them, and so GGGI workers can help from our solution. This solution is using in the Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Philippines. And also in operation phase, the digital MRV solution that did this service has a clear step from digital MRV system design and project data monitoring and data cross-validation and automated report generation. Finally, we can create 100% transparent and verifiable data. So Digiton, the Newton my company make, is not the theory. It's the we implement our solution in real project. So in Vietnam, Bangladesh, Pakistan, there are lots of brick manufacturing factory, and they use coal and diesel a lot. So project developers want to replace that to the electricity press machine. But it was difficult to monitoring how many carbon reduction and carbon emission. So we installed the PLC and IoT sensors to monitor the data from the brick manufacturing factory, and then collect the data in real time and provide the monitor dashboard. So this project is under the Article 6.2 between Korea and Vietnam. So this show how MRV powers Article 6 cooperation, foundation, bridge, and make a high integrity ITMOS. The solution from planning and the operation will be opened to the host country, acquiring country, and project developers, and also local partners. So we can make a high transparency ITMO or PACM. So finalize, I want to talk about two vision, what I imagine for the future. First thing is building national data infrastructure about registry or inventory. So our ultimate goal is not only make a digital infrastructure for a project level. So we have to building national level, but there are many developing countries that don't have any like digital infrastructure for greenhouse gas inventory. But Korea government named the organization named GIR, Greenhouse Gas Inventory Research Center. They manage the whole greenhouse gas emission and reduction in Korea. So they have experience and they have a technology. So we have to collaborate and make a good cooperation. So experience and technology can be expanded, and then we can do together to build a national infrastructure. And second one is, I imagine the AI can work from verification to prediction. So when I met government officials from developing country, they have to approve the carbon project under the Article 6. But they always asking me, so this carbon project can make how much the impact, like environmental impact, social impact, or technology impact. So I think we have to calculate or estimate or modeling the full impact of new technology and new methodology of mitigation technology. So environmental benefit, social co-benefit, technological challenges, we have to estimate and model it, and we can propose to the country that make the good project under Article 6. So I surveyed 17 developing country government officials, and they really want to need accurate methodology application and automated data collection and reporting. So time is coming. So it is not a theory; it is real. So we have to fast and build the data infrastructure under Article 6. Yes, so this is my last slide. The global carbon market is very early stage, so we have to decide, repeat the failures of the past or build a new market using digital infrastructure. So we can make a 3T, trust, transparency, and technology-based Article 6. Then we can build and create the innovation system and achieve the net zero. Yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for and after presentation, please welcome to network. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. And for our last presenter, I would like to welcome Ms. Valerie Hickey from the World Bank. She's the Global Director at the World Bank. She will be giving her presentation under the title of High Integrity Carbon Market Design, World Bank's Key Operational Experience and Insights. Please welcome her with a big round of applause.
Thank you so very much for having me here today, and I hope you'll forgive that I don't have a proper suit jacket, but this hot tub tent is incredibly warm, and I come from a cold weather country like Korea, and so it's hard to cope with it. But more importantly, I want to thank the government of Korea and its partners GGGI and UNFCCC for the GVCM. This is exactly what we needed to help us scale the next rung in the ladder towards a carbon market that is credible, that is modern, and that will work. And it will deliver on the ambition that we've been talking about since the Kyoto Protocol and the CDM so many years ago. The GVCM represents the best of Korea. It's about big ambition, backed by an even bigger heart and some of the world's best financial engineering. And this is what we need in the carbon market. Because right now, I've been in many events these past few days, I'm sure you all have, and there's a lot of cynicism around the carbon markets. There's a lot of stop energy, very little go energy. And it's because the market is illiquid, it's unstable, buyers lack confidence, and there's a very thin supply of credible, high-integrity credits from project developers. When you put that together, it means the market isn't working particularly well. Why? It's a question we've been asking ourselves at the World Bank Group as we've been working in carbon markets for the past 20 years. And the question that the answer to that question that keeps coming to us is that basically buyers and sellers need the confidence that the market will be rules-based and that the rule book won't be reopened and renegotiated. This has to be a fully functioning, transparent, credible market, which means we need regulation, and you heard a lot of that today. And we need market infrastructure. And that's why we're so thrilled that the GVCM will focus on strengthening that infrastructure. And we heard so many great examples today from the different speakers. At the World Bank, our work on carbon markets spans upstream market development. We have a carbon market accelerator called the Program for Market Implementation. But also, we're an off-take purchaser. We help invest in carbon market projects from the public and the private sector, and we are an off-taker, we are a buyer, to give people a floor price so that they have the confidence that if they invest, there will be a buyer. but it's still not enough. And that's why, like the GVCM, we are so invested in partnership and working with over 35 partners, including GGGI, to really help build a market infrastructure that will help build that confidence. In particular, we're focusing on 5 areas, and I hope that we can work together with the GVCM so that together we can build these 5 areas of infrastructure to put together a market that is credible and builds the confidence that is missing. The first part of the infrastructure that we need to work on is ecosystem governance. We have to harmonize terminology, and we have to clarify the roles for the different actors. This is a market that is incredibly difficult to navigate. If you are a community in the Democratic Republic of Congo who is avoiding emissions by managing your forest well, trying to begin to understand how to create a carbon credit and where to go to sell it is incredibly difficult. So we need better ecosystem governance. We need to make sure that the Wild West of carbon markets becomes a much more structured and regulated place. The second part of the infrastructure that we must work on together is financial and transaction integrity. We need to ensure that the basics of any market, from know your client rules to anti-money laundering controls, are included. We need to make sure the carbon market is ready for audits. If we want to scale to the numbers that Director Kim showed us earlier this afternoon, we can only get there when we can entice private sector to buy these credits. They won't buy them unless they know they can be audited, and the audit will be robust. The third part of the infrastructure that we must work on is information security. There are too many vulnerabilities in the existing number of registries. There isn't enough data protection. There isn't enough access management and incident response. Again, nobody wants to buy a credit only to see it disappear from a registry, only to find out that the underlying financial transaction has been sold and person's data has been stolen on the back of it. We need to strengthen our registries. The fourth area is related to the fact that we have many, many registries, and they're not talking to each other. We need system interoperability. We need standardized data across registries. We have to make sure that we avoid the problems of double counting, of fraudulent entries, and that again we build a market that is robust and that is audit ready. And finally, and you heard that from the last speaker, we need a digital MRV. This is perhaps one of the biggest flaws in the current market, particularly in the nature-based market, where the current monitoring, reporting, and verification infrastructure can take years to validate carbon credits, and by the time the audit is over, the data is too old and is often not worth checking. We have to have a digital MRV that can work in real time in order to be able to make sure we have a market that works. The final thing that we must all do together, and we heard this again from our panelists, we need to avoid fragmentation. This is a market with lots of players, lots of people with good ideas. But the ideas behind the GVCM to work with partners to build a modernized structure that is linked to the compliance market, that isn't separate to it, that adopts existing standards and methodologies, exactly the kind of defragmentation that we need. So thank you to the government of Korea and its partners once more, and the World Bank stands ready to work with you to grow the GVCM and grow the carbon markets. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you to all the presenters for their insightful and wonderful presentations. So this will conclude the GVCM side event for today, and we will end this side event with a photo session with all the panelists. But before I invite everyone to the stage, I just want to make a quick announcement. We will have GVCM presentations tomorrow as well. We will have one at the Forest Pavilion at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and another one at the UNFCCC Pavilion at 1 p.m. And tomorrow's sessions will have a panel discussion as well, so I hope that everyone can attend that session as well. Thank you everyone for joining, and have a good evening. And I would like to invite all the presenters to the stage for a quick photo session.